Do you ever feel foggy, dizzy, weak, dehydrated, even when you're drinking enough water? Especially if you're dealing with high blood pressure, diabetes, ulcer, or even gastritis. Let me share a truth that most people do not know. Plain water isn't always enough. In fact, in some cases, it might be making things worse. I would explain this, what I found, and what completely changed the way that I hydrate. Some time ago, I was that person drinking 3 to 4 bottles of water per day, yet still feeling tired, dizzy, and out of breath. I'll go out in the sun, walk for a bit, and suddenly I'll just feel like fainting. I would take some water and it wouldn't really change anything until I discovered something that nobody was talking about: minerals. And no, I do not mean Coke or Fanta in the Nigerian context. I actually mean electrolytes and sea salt. Look at this sea salt right here. It is unrefined sea salt. It is not your average table salt. This one is packed with trace minerals: magnesium for muscle and support, potassium for fluid balance and heart rhythm, calcium for muscle contraction, and of course sodium, which actually isn't the enemy that it has been made out to be. Let me be clear: when you pee, sweat, or even cry, you lose more than just water. You also lose electrolytes. And if you keep replacing with only water without replacing the minerals, you could actually be making your cells more dehydrated. A lot of us have heard, reduce your sodium intake, reduce your sodium intake. But what they don't tell you is that sodium is only a problem when it is out of balance with potassium. The magic is in the ratio. When sodium and potassium work together, your body can absorb and retain hydration at a cellular level. That means less brain fog, better energy, fewer cramps, better digestion, and even better blood pressure management. Yes, I said it. So yes, even if you have hypertension, it's not just about cutting out sodium, which is salt. It's about balancing it with what? Potassium. The World Health Organization and the American Heart Association both emphasize not just reducing sodium, but increasing potassium intake to reduce hypertension and the risk of cardiovascular heart disease. A study published in the Archives of Internal Medicine in 2011 found that higher potassium to sodium ratio was associated with significantly increased risk of cardiovascular disease. That means that if the sodium is more than the potassium you're taking in, you are definitely at risk of hypertension in the long run. In other words, it's not how much sodium you are taking, it's how much potassium you're also taking to balance that sodium. And I think I've driven this point home now. Potassium is very important because it promotes excess sodium excretion via urine. If you're taking sodium and you have enough potassium, the potassium will ensure that the excess sodium is taken out through your urine. Potassium is also important because it relaxes our blood vessels, which helps to reduce the resistance of the blood vessels. It also reduces our parasympathetic nervous activity, which means that overall it contributes to lower blood pressure, especially if you're hypertensive. So while we have been told to avoid sodium for hypertension, sodium is actually very important as well. The risk, however, is if you're not taking enough potassium to balance it out. So high sodium plus low potassium is equals to high blood pressure, poor hydration, muscle cramps, and cardiovascular risk. Balanced sodium and balanced potassium is equals to better hydration, lower blood pressure, and healthier cells. For me, I remember the turning point. It was a Sunday after service on a very hot sunny afternoon. I was climbing the hill to go to my car and everything started to spin. People actually had to come to my rescue and I sat down. My heart was racing. My vision was blurry. I honestly thought I was going to faint. Well, I had to sit for about an hour to regain my strength and I took some water. But it didn't completely go, but it was enough to take me home. And I started researching like crazy. That's when I found out about electrolyte imbalance and how sea salt in warm water can help restore everything naturally. So as usual, I tried it. Every morning I take a pinch of sea salt in warm water and that would be the first thing that I would take. Just once a day, and within a week, my outcomes improved. I stopped feeling faint anytime I was out in the sun. It sounds small, but for me, it was a major shift. So based on science, research, and personal experience, this is what I suggest. Get real mineral sea salt. It could be grape, it could be pink Himalayan, it could be Celtic salt. Celtic salt is actually the best, but if you cannot find that, any of the others will actually do as well. Start with a pinch in warm water first thing in the morning. If you're sweating, moving around a lot, another pinch in the afternoon can help as well. It's a very simple change, but the impact is huge, especially if you're using Celtic salt that has so many nutrients and minerals. So don't just drink water smarter. Try sea salt and let your body get the minerals it may be missing, especially if you're diabetic and hypertensive or dealing with gastritis and ulcer. I hope someone finds this useful. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Bye.